but I'm back now. I hope you missed me, certainly. When am I converting to Eastern Orthodox? No, thank you. Why would I do that? Baffling. I've said multiple times Christianity is cached. Christ, of course, is alive and will always be alive, lives within all of us, blah, blah, blah. But the vocabulary, the social technology of Christianity, it what does it represent anymore? It represents a reactionary, it either represents literal Satanism in the United States, I would argue, American Protestantism, which now encompasses Catholicism and pretty much every other Christian doctrine, is broadly a satanic worship. Because what is satanic worship? What's the idea behind Satanism, right? It's not necessarily that you believe Satan is real, because that would be an incredibly bad bet. Like if you believed in Christian cosmology, then you would know backing Satan is backing the wrong horse. Satanism is usually just a metaphor for selfishness, right? Like Satan is the fallen rebel angel who would not kneel. He said it was better to reign in hell, right? Well, what is the American project if not the attempt to reign in hell? That's what it is. We're reigning in hell. Our Christian Americans are fighting for the right to live and reign in hell, a literal hell, as you can see from the temperatures globally happening right now. It like changing my very narrow, specific, totally culturally inculcated ideas of what I want, desires, changing my matrix of consumption and preference, the little habit-trail mission of treat accrual that I have instead of any kind of like real purpose. I'm going to consecrate that as literal Christian, as literally God's will. What the fuck is that? That's Satanism. I'm sorry. And like, what is Eastern Orthodox? But that same premise now grafted onto a totally postmodern bullshit, artificial version of like pre-Christian society. Like, I guess the Dugan argument is that like Russia's different because they showed up late, because they had communism. Like they aren't tainted. They aren't turned into commodities like us. They aren't turned into little consumer Satanists like us. But if you look at how the countries run, you look at what the how power is accrued and maintained. It's through the same structures that dominate everywhere. Because Fukuyama was right fundamentally about the end of history. His problem was one of ideology. He so deeply believed that capitalism and democracy were the same thing, that the one was the embodiment of the other, uh, that his idea of the end of history is a triumphant democratic capitalism. But that's not what has triumphed. That's not what ended history. What ended history was just good old fashioned capitalism. And the way that different cultures acclimate themselves to that varies based on pre existing structures. So, yes, we have democratic capitalism in the West, where the process of building these states was lubricated with the blood of untold, expropriated and exploited colonial subjects. It's not going to be the same for countries that never had that experience of modernization, where like the polity itself had to take that on the chin, like Russia, like China, or a country like India, where it never really happened, where you've still got feudal fucking social relations in the countryside. But the thing these countries all have in common, and the thing that would validate Fukuyama if he could just accept the terms of his correctness, uh, but he couldn't do that without confronting the reality of what he'd worshipped his whole life. Because the real trick of capitalism in the West is that it brought with it real liberation. Marx wrote about that better than anybody. It brought these notions of individual autonomy and human right that asserted every subjective human life in the face of its social structure, which is something uh, that other countries could not, and other I'm sorry, not other countries, other modes of production, other social relations of production could not sustain. There, people had to be grist for a mill. Capitalism said, no, we're all ends to ourselves, which is revolutionary and liberating. Yes, in like a satanic way, liberating the ego, but also in a humanistic way, liberating us from the need to be dominated by one another and alienated and separated from one another. And that is, but that was only if this explosion had been harnessed to a project of socialism, which was alive for a while and is now dead. Capitalism triumphed, as Fukuyama said, but what that triumph was those energies unleashed and turned into, satanic self-worship. So yeah, like Christ still lives, obviously, but Christianity is dead. And because it'll be Christ among others who will appear to those in need at these times of crisis and are appearing every day in one guise or another. But it will not be socially reaffirmed as Christianity as we understand it, as is legible to other people, because we know what those words mean to each other. Forget what they mean to us, what they mean to each other, because we can't have a private language. So if Christianity is going to be a live wire, we have to take as read its cultural baggage. And honestly, that's the same reason that I don't think we're going to see socialism or communism as we understand them, because it's the same process has degraded and deformed those symbols and meanings as have Christianity. It's like the fantasy, it's the mirror of socialism. Like, because socialism is the attempt to materially substantiate Christianity, and both of those projects and vocabularies have collapsed in the face of pure extraction, pure domination.